Mike, just how did you guys kind of go about Brian at this? Now it seems like it was one where couldn't quite pull away like you wanted to, but just how did you kind of do what you needed to do?
Yeah, it was one of those nights. I think both teams were a little fatigued playing back-to-back. And, it wasn't going to be a game where you go out there and win by 20 when both teams were making plays when they needed them. For us, it was just about the defensive end. We can get stops and time the stops. I think it allows our offense to be more fluid and get easy baskets for guys, especially for Ant. He gets doubled a lot during the game, and they try to isolate him out the game. So our defense is what got our hat on, and we did it.
Coach was saying that he gets that you get annoyed when he asks you how you're feeling. Basically, like, can you go? Like, what's the process been like of you sort of communicating with him about how much you're playing, like logging, and second night of back-to-back, things like that?
Yeah, no, I've been honest with him. I've worked real hard to get my body in shape, and this is probably the best shape I've been in a long, long time. So I'm prepared to play however long I need to play. So I tell him if I get tired, but I never do that. I want to be on the court as much as I can to help the guys. So we just keep communicating, and hopefully I can just keep going.
Still the only team that hasn't lost back-to-back games in the league this year. What do you think it is about this group that, I guess, not only just bouncing back, but just so difficult to beat twice?
Well, I think from game to game we adjust. We might be a different team each night. Different guy can be our leader for that night in scoring or defensively or whatever it may be. So we just got a lot of depth. A lot of guys can step up at different moments. Jaden had a great night the other night, and tonight we had a multitude of guys who play very well. So we just use our depth and our size, and that can be overwhelming, I think, for some certain teams at certain times. So allows us to, just be unpredictable every night.
Have you been on a team that has this many different ways to win, like in ways you guys can play the game, different guys that can attack?
I don't think I've been on a team that has that much, that many ways of attacking you. Like I said, I've been on teams where we spread you out, pick and roll, and we strictly post up and cut. And this team kind of can do both. And, we can run, we can play slow, we can write out a defensive game, and I think that bodes well for the playoff style basketball. So we're preparing for that ultimately, and we still got a ways to go, obviously, but we're working towards it.
Is it hard to sustain defensive intensity to the level you guys have been doing it? I mean, suffocating teams in the second half. I mean, that didn't happen tonight as much as it is. Is that hard to do?
It's a lot of work. I think people take it for granted how hard it is to guard anybody in this league, let alone try to do it every single night. Winning's hard, and for us to go out there and try to replicate it every night, it tells you what kind of guys we have in this locker room, the kind of pride we have on the defensive end, and how much we want to succeed on that side of the ball. So we're just going to keep working, and some nights we have it, some nights we don't.
Mike, how are you seeing Carl use his speed more this season?
I think he's just being more decisive and quick with his decisions. I think when he gets it in transition or something, he goes straight to the rim. If he catches it on a pick and pop, he's shooting or he's driving it right away. Like, there's no indecision. And when he's playing downhill and using his athleticism, his size, there's not many bigs that can match up with him in the world. So we just try to utilize that as much as possible and let him be Cap.
Mike, tonight against the Lakers, you guys kind of faced some zones in the second half, especially. How much of a benefit is it having Kyle and Carl both being able to work out of the middle and kind of use Gobert as his rim presence to allow that?
It definitely helps a lot. Both of those guys are great playmakers. They can both finish. They can work out of that mid post, and we can get kind of kick out threes. And like you said, having Rudy kind of roaming the underneath the basket and from lane line to lane line, it puts pressure on those zones. So. We're going to see a lot of that. Teams kind of throw a lot of different things at us, and it's good that we're kind of seeing that now, getting the feel of it now, and understanding what we can do with it.
What about picking their pockets with that steal there late in the game?
I had a little fun with that one. I would have stolen it from you too, bro. It was. I've done that my whole life. Like that's the play that I've been able to make, getting back on defense and just stripping guys and using my hands and quickness. So I still got it.
Even at your age?
My age don't matter, man. I'm still moving good, so I'm happy.
You guys have so many different things you can do, Mike. Does it sometimes take a while to figure out what should be done on that night when there are so many different things you can go to?
Yeah, I think it can be, a gift and a curse kind of thing. We have so many different options and ways of attacking a defense or playing defense that, guys might get confused on a night. Certain calls might get mixed up in the play and how you should attack it. So it's on us to just get better at being definitive and more intentional on what we're trying to accomplish on that particular night, because each night is, this is going to be different. They boxed on one ant the other night. We haven't seen that all year, and the next night it's zone. So you just never know what you're going to get in this league, and we just have to be prepared for that.
Is that why this has been such a good second half team of games?
Yeah, I think our adjustments and come out of the locker room, not only from our coaches but our players, taking the initiative to say, hey, we're going to change this, we're going to change that, we're going to look for Ant on more pin downs as opposed to him in pick and roll or posting up cat, and just whatever we're trying to attack in that moment. And we go out there and execute it, and I think it's been really good for us.
Thanks, Mike.
Thanks, Mike.